Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Funhaus. You know, this show has a reputation, it used to have a reputation, for the most hard-hitting, truthful, informative film reviews and topical film news discussions. But because there hasn't been a single new movie that has come out in the last 6 months, we've had nothing to review. And since movies aren't coming out, they're not making new movies to replace those movies, so there's no news. So it's kind of been a thing that anytime I take the reins in this show, we do a fun film-related debate game, right? So we've had what is the most perfect sequel, right? Mm-hmm. Best sequel of all time.
Chipwrecked.
What was it? Perfect film? It was Perfect Film.
It's like
Showdown.
What is a perfect film? Yeah.
Perfect Film Showdown that just happened to have 2 sequels battling it out. And then we also had the ranking where you submit a random movie and then we took those movies and ranked them from worst to best, which was really a lot of fun. I enjoy doing that a lot. Now this is a new... Thank you, Ryan. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you did. And now a new game that I've just kind of come up with.
Best 80s butts.
Best 80s butts.
Splash.
Those G-strings are going to be going real high. We should save that. I'd be down to do that. Ranking the best butts of the 80s in film. No, this is going to be everyone knows me and my love of the mise en scene, you know, the details that appear in cinema. And what goes along with that are a bunch of people who don't understand how anything works. Mm-hmm. And they're called the subreddit on movie details. That's basically where they all decided to gather, and it's my own fault. I subscribe to it. I could leave at any point in time. I choose not to because I like to see what people think are those. How could anyone have thought of this? Details of cinema. Okay. So what I had the Funhaus Twitter account tweet out a request for people's best and worst movie details. Okay, what they think are the best ones, what they think are the worst ones. And then I had our production assistant, Rick, gather those links, okay, and then just throw them in a document. So I don't know what are the ones that the community agrees are good, or the community agrees are bad, or our audience thinks are good, or our audience thinks are bad, because what we're going to do today is we're going to figure out definitively what movie details are worth our time and which are a fucking travesty. Why did anyone think that they should ever do that? Okay?
Question for you, James.
Yes, Elise.
Is there some element of gatekeeping here that you can't just let these movie enthusiasts appreciate and have fun, even if the details seem trivial?
Yeah.
No, because they're wrong.
Yeah,
it's an inherent misunderstanding about how things work. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gatekeeping. I think anyone should be allowed to love and enjoy film. Yeah. Whether or not they want to get into the minutia. But if they have no concept of how any of it works, they probably shouldn't be telling me or that community how it works through. You'll see.
Ryan's got something to
Go ahead, Ryan.
I'm relatively new to this whole movie details thing. Is it literally just like facts, trivia facts about the movie, or is it supposed to make you see the movie in a different way? It
started from a really good place, something along the line. I don't remember what the first movie detail was, but it was a comment in the movies subreddit, which then spawned a whole new subreddit because someone brought forth a piece of very interesting bit of movie detail, right? Something like, and I'm making something up, if you notice in the background of The Matrix in the lobby scene, the tiles are shaped like guns, but you would never notice your first, second, third, or fourth time watching because it's out of focus, and it's just something that a production designer did to make it for them, that it kind of enhances it or whatever.
Just like hidden details or Easter eggs.
Like Back to the Future is like the prime example, right? The Twin Pines Mall, and then Marty hits a tree, and so when he comes back, it's the Lone Pine Mall. And you go, that's a fun detail. I didn't notice it.
That's a good detail.
That's great. The problem is everyone notices things in movies, and there's a miscommunication, I think, is a detail and what is intended for the audience to realize usually on the first viewing. But
here's an example of a bad movie detail. I don't think it's on this list, but this is an actual one that I saw, and it said in the film Monsters Inc. What's the one-eyed one? Billy Crystal.
Mike.
Mike is running down the hallway. If you notice, there's a point where he leaps over the camera. That was the detail.
Oh, there's nothing else.
No, it was just that.
Remember that shot?
Just
as though,
face
it was basically
value.
as though he leaps over the
Gotcha.
camera as though there was a camera there, but it's a CG movie, so there is no camera there. But it's just the composition of the shot that makes it appear. That's just what you do. That's just the shot. Stuff like that. And we're probably going to see some great bad examples. It probably won't take too long to calibrate yourself for this, Ryan,
Okay.
I assure you.
That's fine. So a lot of this is
yeah.
going to be about what the definition of the word detail is, it sounds like.
I think so. And also, the subreddit has expanded out to things that include just pure continuity. Just continuity.
Really all
or trivia.
semantics.
Or casting.
I'm excited.
Sometimes
Let's do it.
and sometimes the worst stuff are things where there's no way that's true. This person has just completely read into their own personal situation that is almost 100%. There's no way that's
What
true.
if we see a detail and it was submitted by Ryan's game show?
I wouldn't be surprised. Let's hope it goes in the
I'd
good
be
column.
very surprised. How drunk did I get that night?
Can I admit something right here now for the first time ever on the show?
Right here,
please.
right now.
Please.
I
do.
used to be really into IMDb trivia, and there was
Same.
there was a
know.
website
That's not an admission.
before that. Well, before that, it was just called like movietrivia.com or whatever. And I submitted something because I thought I had a hot tip.
Mm-hmm.
It was for the film SWAT, starring Colin Farrell.
Lawrence
yes.
Fishburne. Is Lawrence Fishburne in that?
No,
No.
Sam
Samuel
Jackson is though.
Because he's in the theme song. Hanging with Samuel L. Jackson.
That is
Never saw it.
He's like would be the Morpheus
Jeremy
type
Renner
character
as well.
of SWAT. Yeah, Jeremy Renner. But the screenwriter of that movie taught at my college, and he mentioned something. And I was like, they have to know this detail. The author of that website then put out a blog post that said, I've been getting a lot of really bad trivia lately, guys. Just letting you know. And I think he was referencing my trivia.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So
All
I
right,
don't
So you
submit-
yourself are guilty.
yeah.
I am also, I'm also guilty of caring too much. I once wrote that summary of Iron Man 3 before Iron Man 3 ever came out. And it got downvoted, and I was told it was terrible because it diminished the Mandarin. So, we all have our black spots on our film-loving history. And again, some of these movie details can be good. We have 2 columns, good, bad. We're going to be sorting them into either. We have a lot to get through. There's 21 of them. Some may be easy as just cracking a whip. Others may be very, very hard to decide. And others going to go right in the trash. So without further ado, I am very excited for the first quad annual movie details, good or bad showdown. Brought to you by Quip and ExpressVPN. All right, let's roll. All right, movie detail number 1. Here we go. I'm seeing these for the first time too. Again, I don't have a reaction. All right. The college student in The Incredible Hulk 2008 is also Peter Parker's teacher in Spider-Man Homecoming 2017. So they're referring to the actor
Martin
Starr.
What's his name? Martin Starr.
Martin Starr, who is both he's a supporting character in
and Hulk.
Hulk, and he's also a supporting character, recast again as a supporting character in Spider-Man.
So are they trying to imply that maybe this character from Hulk is now a professor, a teacher in
Yes.
Homecoming?
That's not a
the
detail. That's coincidence.
Do the characters have
It is
the
an
same name? Do we
MCU.
know their name?
It's kind of MC. Well, actually,
They both
I mean,
are.
it's kind of MCU, right?
It's pre-blueprint and MCU.
Yeah.
You know?
I
and
mean,
it's
'cause-
Incredible Hulk. That's the Edward Norton one.
Yeah,
so it's
that's-
not even like this is Avengers.
well, that's the one where at the end Tony Stark comes in and goes, "I'm putting a team together," and then they wipe that away. So they were already confused on their own continuity at that point.
Mm-hmm. There's another factor too, whereas Martin Starr, he's been around a while. He's been working for a very long
geek.
time. He's a geek. He probably likes this kind of stuff. He did have quite a career breakout with Silicon Valley in this time period that it's the gap between here. So it makes more sense that he would get better representation and a larger role in something like this. Do we think that the director or the casting team did this intentionally to provide a line of continuity between the films?
James, if I saw how the characters were credited and I saw that college student was credited as Bobby College Kid, and then I saw that the professor was named Robert, Smith.
Collegiate
not
man.
The singer, but, if I saw that, I went from maybe Bobby to Robert, and I'd be like, oh, okay, they're trying to indicate to us that is the same character who is aged and, we're in a shared universe, but
so what if here's something here, I just looked it up.
Okay.
In Incredible Hulk, he's credited as Computer Nerd. Mm-hmm. And in Spider-Man, he's credited as Mr. Harrington. So unfortunately, we're not going to get a definitive answer there. I can almost guarantee you that this Redditor checked because they have no idea beforehand, so that way they wouldn't get squashed by the top
It could be the same.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Sorry.
And then Elise.
No. I want to hear what Ryan has to say.
I just say I like this one, honestly. At first, when I first read it, I was like, bullshit. But then just the fact that it is the MCU, which is kind of the most famous giant conglomerate of a bunch of movies that are supposed to all be tied in together. The fact that there's an actor playing two different characters would be weird in something that's supposed to be one timeline, even though it's already weird that the movie he's in stars a guy who gets replaced by Mark Ruffalo. So that's a whole other deal, but I think it's cool.
So apparently Kevin Feige confirmed that he believes in that theory that it's the same character.
Perfect.
Okay.
It's good.
But all right.
I'm going to go ahead and guess Kevin Feige didn't go, there's something about this background actor that
something missing.
Something special about him. I think wouldn't it be cool if he became insular character later in Spider-Man? It was like, I don't know if that was really, I think he just went, yeah, hey, you know what? If you fans believe it, I believe it too. But apparently he's Jesus fucking Christ. So
Kevin Feige, if Kevin Feige's okay with it, we all know he writes all of those films.
He's the Oracle.
He has a rubber stamp and hits yes or no these days.
It's tough.
I don't love this one, but I don't think it's as egregious as others we've seen.
I'm actually going to agree with Elise. I don't think it is as egregious. And I think that whoever posted it at least did the due diligence to go on IMDb and confirm that this detail couldn't immediately be refuted with just the lightest Googling.
Can we have
which is more than I can say for most of them.
Can we have a third category, though, I guess? Maybe because I assume that in the goods, there's going to be some that are like awesome, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying.
We could, no, we're going to have good, bad. We could do one that's not a detail. Cool, but not a detail.
Okay.
I feel like this might belong.
Do you call it good, but?
I mean, it'd just be like cool, but not a detail.
Okay.
Nice try.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
So where is that? Where we think this one belongs?
It's gonna be like 4 episodes.
Is that where we think this one belongs?
in
cool, but not a detail, or good or bad?
Nice try.
Nice try. It's a nice try.
Okay.
I think, like I said, I think that's almost accidental trivia, where just through the process of casting, this thing happened, and then someone said, "Hey, Kevin, did you know this?" And he went, "Oh, what do you know? Sure, whatever. That doesn't hurt."
Yeah. There's not enough. There's not enough evidence to suggest mens rea that there was intent behind this casting choice.
It also doesn't speak to the artistry of film, which I think is another thing that a good movie detail would do.
But don't you think? Isn't there something like death of the author? It doesn't matter what any of the directors meant. It's just what's in the text.
It's what you infer from the text.
There's Martin stars in the text both times,
which has happened before. If there's a detail that you post about something and then the director goes, "That's not true," then it is not a movie detail, I'm afraid.
But what if,
Ryan, do you really want to fight for this one to be somewhere else?
I mean, it is a perfectly okay, mediocre, kind of cool thing, but I do think that there's something to it. It's not just nothing. There's
it's not immediately refuted, which is why I think we're giving it the cool but nice try.
Sure, yeah, nice try. I think that's acceptable.
If
All right, we got to move on. We're already
let's go,
spending way too much time on one.
Yeah,
We've got
Wizard
20
of
more
Oz.
of these to do.
Okay.
All right. So, in Wizard of Oz, 1939. By the way, they always put the year in case we get it confused with the other one.
Well, there's the
Return of
animated
Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Come
This
on.
is the Walter Murch one.
If there's a detail in that,
Just-
that's coming. All right.
Don't you like movies at all, ever?
I love movies. I don't like people that don't know
Okay.
about
what's
All right.
going on.
So in Wizard of Oz, 1939, when they're sent to kill the Witch of the West, Scarecrow straight up brings a gun.
This is a classic movie
It
detail.
is a classic movie detail.
15 years ago, I think would have been the first time I would have seen this one.
Okay.
I mean, I remember watching the VHS, and then my brother and I were watching it when we were very young, and went, what the hell? Like, we just paused it and we're like, is that a gun? But it was like, you can't go anywhere to confirm that. It's like, that looks like a gun.
It's hilarious looking.
To be honest, I didn't know that, and I would have thought that was photoshopped. I've
Yeah,
seen
it
this
looks
movie a million times.
Also, because they took a photo with their phone at an angle at their TV, so everyone looks kind of warped and stretched.
Again, they love film. That's why they take a photo this way and then post it on Reddit.
Personally, I love this one.
Okay.
Now, why though? Because it's just like this one is just kind of one of those like. Did you kind of notice that in the background? Does that really enrich the? It's just kind of cool
doesn't-
that he brought a gun, I guess, or just curious. Not.
It raises a lot of questions, like where did the Scarecrow get a gun from? What compelled him to think I should pack heat to go see the, like they're going to go face off with a witch.
The wickedest witch of the
also,
West.
In the world of Oz, I don't think you really think that handguns like that exist.
Maybe
It's
the
just-
Tin Man
it's so
made it
bizarre.
out of himself.
It's so bizarre. It's also it's such a funny detail
Tin
because the
Man
movie's so old and it's something that only recently seemed to be circulated.
Well, I feel like this is the kind of thing that probably comes around again and again. It's gonna continue coming around every single time a 16-year-old or 17-year-old watches this in a film class for the first time. They're gonna be, is that a gun? And then it's gonna get posted again for all those same people who didn't know.
And you would think to yourself, he's a scarecrow. He comes from the farm field. What kind of weapon would he have? Maybe some type of rake or a hoe. No, he's got a gun.
Well, the actual trivia that backs this up is it's from a cut scene from the movie. They were supposed to fight a jitterbug before the witch, and he's given a gun to fight with jitterbug. That's why the line also has like bug spray. So I still don't know why he has a gun.
It's fight the
It was given to
jitterbug.
him by the jitterbug.
I guess it was the prop left at MGM. Like, just give him a gun or something. He's kind of a dum-dum.
I have seen that footage of that deleted scene. It's great. There's one shot where they're panning by a bunch of trees, and then you see like a production guy reach out from the back of it, and like because the tree arm is branches stuck or whatever, it's this beautiful panning shot of them sneaking through the woods, and you just see this guy reaching out trying to fix it, and I guess that's the only coverage they got, so they couldn't use it.
I guess that's a detail.
Is this a detail? Is
Sure.
it a good detail? Is it a bad detail? Or is it a nice try? That's the nice try.
It might be a nice try. I love it. I think it's very funny, and I always enjoy it. But
does it speak to the artistry of film?
it speaks to the process of film, like you were saying. If they couldn't use this scene because of it tells a story of the production, not necessarily of the material itself.
Okay.
There'd be a funny category. Maybe this would be in the funny category.
You can't keep adding categories.
Yeah, now that I think of it, this tells a story of the production.
Okay.
Yeah,
That gives it a lot of weight.
I give it a detail. Yeah,
We're gonna say good. This goes good. We get a
Ryan,
good one.
Are you sure, Ryan?
good.
I'm
nutmeg.
hesitant because I'm just worried that there's gonna be a good detail. I'm like, all right, that's a detail, man, and then it's gonna be right there next to the
probably
Wizard
will
of
be.
Oz one, and I'm like, well, they should be in the same category.
It's bound to happen. That's the beauty of this subreddit.
right.
Some people are actually really good at it and know how to find stuff out.
Can you put the numbers there so we know which one? Like, can you put 2 under good, and so we know if we need to come back to it, where we put them if we forget.
God.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I rate that a 2.
Yeah. So
I'm just trying to count them.
let me see. So just do that. But then after you can just look at them.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I got to back up from the mic so John Smith doesn't get mad at me. Sorry.
All right. Here we go. Keep moving. Number 3. We're not going to get through all these. No. Jack Nicholson's costume in Batman 1989 is a more exaggerated, Joker-tinged, and Gotham climate-appropriate version of what he wore in the minimalist Western The Shooting, 1966.
No.
So now, It's the Joker in his 3-piece suit. Okay, he's kind of got the little ascot or whatever that is. And then it's Jack Nicholson from 20 years before that playing a cowboy, looking like pretty much a generic gambler.
It's a completely different outfit.
I mean, there's
I see it. Kind of.
It's not even a 3-piece suit, by the way. What he's wearing as the cowboy, he's got like a vest on. He has no jacket.
No, but he's just missing the jacket. If he had his brown jacket is on the horse probably underneath this cropped image.
This is one of the worst movie details I've ever seen.
So there's also another aspect here which comes up a lot with movie details is that the poster believes that this is the first time we've ever seen the Joker. An original character who only first appeared in 1989. And that's not the case because by the time the shooting, the Western came out, there was probably, what? 3 decades worth of Joker imagery?
Yeah.
And that had already predated it?
No.
And just in general, clowns.
Yeah.
I would like this if somebody said, it is known that Jack Nicholson liked his costume in the shooting so much that he told the costume designer to make a crazy clown version of it for Batman. But if the poster's just saying, oh, it kind of looks the same, it's like, 3-piece suits have been around for forever.
Yeah. Jack
Tim
Nicholson
Burton was a
hates
Western
everything.
fan.
He
I
was.
was say, you know what this detail doesn't have is any supporting evidence.
That's not. Yeah.
Did not include
this picture
that.
is.
A Tim Burton interview, perhaps, where he said he was really the reason he knew he wanted Jack Nicholson.
He had grown up
from
watching Jack and Western.
the shooting, and he said, "This is what I want."
I bet if Tim Burton said, "Hey, just so you know, I modeled the outfit after your role in the shooting," Jack Nicholson would go, "What is the shooting?"
I'm high.
I don't.
There's also the whole aspect that Joker looks pretty much identical to one of those ha-cha-cha-cha wolves from like Looney Tunes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like even the pants.
It's more of a zoot suit. Yeah.
So Ryan, I know you look a little hesitant, but I'm just going to tell you this is trash garbage.
Well, I'd either put it in trash garbage or maybe nice try and let's move on because this detail definitely sucks. No, it's not fun to read, but in terms of whether it's a good detail or not,
you're seeing the making of a conspiracy theorist where they go,
yeah,
I can connect everything.
You can do this with literally anything. Did you know Jack Nicholson was a big fan of the movie Maverick, which came out 10 years after Batman?
Next detail.
And it's the same thing. So so this is a trash garbage detail. Let's move on. All right. Oh, I think I may know this one. I think I may recognize this one. All right. For Interstellar, Christopher Nolan planted 500 acres of corn just for the film because he did not want to CGI the farm in. After filming, he turned it around and sold the corn and made back profit for the budget. Is this a movie detail?
Again, it might fall into production detail.
Interesting. It's interesting.
Interesting for sure.
It says nothing about the film. It's not, it doesn't really say anything about the film or what the film is.
It does say that he went to practical lengths. When you're watching Interstellar, you might think that cornfield is CG. It's not. It's a real cornfield. Mm-hmm. The backstory behind it and how it connected to the production is interesting.
It also says made back profit for the budget, which is 100% not true. I seriously doubt that cornfield was worth the $200 million it costs to make.
I was going to say, I want to know how much they got for all that corn. What would they get?
$35
for a bushel of corn?
It's just, is this something where you pause the movie, turn to your significant other and go, did you know Chris Nolan? And then they're leaving because no one cares.
All of this is someone watched the movie commentary, and it's something Christopher Nolan mentioned offhand that they had to remind him of before he sat down to do the director's.
So that doesn't count as a movie detail in your mind?
I think this is at best a nice try, but I don't think it says anything about the film. I don't think it makes me admire the film anymore.
Honestly, this is like a hilarious movie detail in terms of if you just think about the sad state of affairs we're in, where somebody had to go and prove or make a whole post that say, "Did you know that corn is not cartoons that they're driving in? It's real corn." And we're all going, "Oh wow! Usually it'd be cartoon corn." That's pretty funny.
That is funny. You're right.
Okay.
I'm trying to find
Is it
a
a
corn
detail?
calculator.
To see how much the corn actually cost.
Yeah.
Actually, someone posted it in the comments. If you go down below, if you dig through enough of the comments on Reddit, you'll find someone doing math, which is nice. But they mentioned that even like at its peak, probably made like $600,000.
Peak corn?
That is another thing too. That is another thing too to remember is that sometimes the movie details are lies. Like, again, in this one, it's an interesting fact with he planted corn because he wanted actual corn and not CG corn, and then sold it. But then it does say made back profit for the budget, which it isn't profit. That's net. And so,
Oh my God, this one post I saw said that in 2019, you'd be making a loss on a bushel of corn.
Oof, good thing you missed that movie. Interstellar, parentheses, what year it came out. I'm voting for this one as nice try.
Yeah.
That's a nice try. Yeah.
Nice try.
Okay.
But
I don't think it impacts the movie in any way, really.
I don't think it really makes me, say much about the film or whatever. We're moving along. We're going to have to pick up the pace because we are not going nearly fast enough. Let's move on to In Hook, 1991, not to be confused with the other. Okay. The window latch is a mini hook.
Bad.
Love this one, James.
Bad.
What?
Are you kidding?
What?
This is the definition of duh.
That's just it's just in the movie. It's there.
Let me ask you, Ryan, what we're seeing here is a shot of a window latch, and the only reason we can see it is because Steven Spielberg put the camera 2 fucking inches in front of it and held on it for a solid 10 seconds.
Yeah.
James,
Passes like a lightning bolt.
I love this one. This implies the family with this connection and trauma related to Captain Hook decided to put details of it in their home.
Also, blink and you miss it.
Yeah. Well, also,
Even that amount of detail they didn't give in the detail. They just said there's a window latch. It looks like a hook. It is a hook. And you're supposed to go, oh, I didn't know that was a hook. Of course it's a hook.
I wonder what that's a reference to. I am watching this for the first time on the Sci-Fi Channel.
The top comment is also Captain Hook has a hook, which I think pretty much summarizes.
This is classic Spurg. This is Spielberg at his finest.
That's the thing. He hides these little presents, these little gifts inside his film because you're watching it and you're not paying attention.
Look, James, if you look close enough, you can see the reflection of the camera operator in the hook. Okay, these are all little details.
That they filmed it with a camera.
All right.
How'd they film
also,
movie?
you look at the shot, and because the first time your eye is drawn to all the rest of the negative space, which is nothingness except for the hook.
I love this one.
This is a perfect example of a trash, garbage, bottom barrel movie detail.
Can we make a no fucking shit category and put this one in?
That's bad. That's where bad goes.
Missed it 'cause I was on my phone the first time I saw it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I slept through this film. I had no idea. All right. In Baby Driver, what year did it come out? Come on. Jamie Foxx, pianist since age 5, who played Ray Charles in Ray, looks unimpressed as Baby plays air piano on the table.
Incredible.
So we think that Edgar Wright, or maybe even the script, even before where they were on set or cast Jamie Foxx, Edgar Wright stepped in and said, all right, Jamie, you have been playing piano since you were 5 years old. Also, you played Ray Charles in Ray. I want you to look unimpressed with the air piano being played on the table in this scene. Or is he reacting to what I believe Kevin Spacey is telling them in this moment?
I think it's that the poster is saying, look at Jamie Foxx's his acting technique is drawing upon these past experiences. So that incredible unimpressed look on Jamie Foxx's face comes from his years of experience trying to become Ray and being a pianist since he was 5 years old. Apparently,
It's method acting.
Now I'm gonna throw a whammy out there.
Okay.
This is shortly before he turns to him and goes, "Did you get all that?" Because he's upset because he thinks he's not paying attention, and then he repeats everything back to him. But he could be upset because he's not playing the piano well. I'm not sure.
Do you think that he's more upset with the fact that Baby appears to not be paying attention or not taking things seriously when their lives are on the line in this mission, or he's thinking, I, Jamie Foxx, have been playing piano since I was 5 years old. You think that's piano? I played Ray Charles in Ray. Do we think that? What do we think?
I think this goes
is
into
the
good,
motivation for this scene, because it's tough.
This is good.
Yeah, it's lacking any support whatsoever.
What do you mean? We know his resume. We know exactly.
Well, we know
It's
what
true. We do know Jamie Foxx.
I don't know if he's played the piano since 5. That's what this person just said.
I believe it.
Okay, it's on the internet. Yeah, I can't make it up.
So this is trash garbage.
Yeah,
We're going to go ahead and put that in the trash garbage bin.
Yeah.
Thought we agreed.
No, we did agree that it is trash garbage. This is someone who, by the way, wasn't paying attention to the movie.
Do we have any?
They missed the thing. They missed the thing that the movie was
random.
trying to tell you. Yeah, we have one.
The Wizard of
We
Oz.
have Wizard of
Scarecrow.
Oz.
The gun.
Wizard of Oz.
The gun.
Yeah, which I am skeptical about.
Okay,
but
all right. Lord of the Rings is up next, and Lord of the Rings is a movie packed full of details. Okay, this movie's crammed full. In Lord of the Rings,
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
hold on, let me read.
God, I read ahead.
In Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, which came out in 2001, by the way, when Boromir tries to take the ring from Frodo, he puffs out his cheeks. Later, in The Two Towers, Gollum also puffs out his cheeks when he tries to wrestle the ring away. Now, what we're seeing here is a screenshot of Sean Bean, who plays Boromir, looking angry, and kind of, it looks like he's going to say, you, or something like that. And then below that is another screenshot of Gollum just kind of biting his lip. Both look like the way you would look if you were pulling on something.
this is stupid.
Did Peter Jackson say, all right, Andy, do you remember when we filmed that scene with Sean 18 years ago? And Andy went, who?
Well,
This is what we need to recreate.
Except
Or
it's also
is this
CGI.
person a psychopath who somehow managed to draw these conclusions?
well, I'm reading ahead in the comments here, and someone does call out the poster and says, "I think you're reaching." But the guy who posted did reply and say, "No, watch it again. It's hard to tell, but Gollum's skinny. You can tell he puffs his cheeks out."
Well,
Same as
there you
Boromir.
have it.
I-
There you have it.
That might
would
be
also-
Peter Jackson.
I would argue just by looking at it, they are not making the same expression at all.
No.
But is the idea that Gollum is this impressionable little person that picked up that mannerism?
He wasn't
Gollum
around.
never saw him do that.
Well, then what the hell are we talking about? Not-
Well,
why does it matter they puff their
this is-
cheeks out?
This is my other theory.
what
Same
the
with
ring
IMDb
does.
trivia. If you go through it, all the good stuff's already taken. So you got to reach if you want to. If you want to be
gotta reach.
remembered.
I
as
hate
the trivia
this.
master.
This is my least favorite so far.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Please.
I don't know why we're spending any time
Sorry.
on this.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Real quick, before we move on, we are only 7 deep into this. I don't
almost
know that we're
halfway.
going to get through this whole list. It's okay. We can do this as a 2-parter if we need to. We'll pick it back up another time.
That's fine.
But I want everyone to get a chance to hear a word from one of our sponsors. When was the last time you got rewarded for brushing your teeth? I probably never. I feel like I should assume never. But with Quip's new smart electric toothbrush, good habits can earn you great perks like free products, gift cards, and more. You've heard us talk about Quip probably a million times by this point, but this is something brand new that rewards you and your mouth as though not having cavities and having clean teeth and bright white teeth wasn't good enough. The Quip Smart Brush for adults and kids connects to the Quip app with Bluetooth. It'll track when and how well you brush. It'll get tips and coaching and to improve your habits. So you're just going to be encouraged to keep doing it. Also, here's the best part. You earn points for daily brushing. You get bonus points for completing brushing challenges like maintaining streaks and things that you should be doing anyway. Then you can redeem those rewards for free products like gift cards and discounts from Quip and partners. So if you already have a Quip, upgrade it with a smart motor and keep the features you know and love. It has sensitive sonic vibrations, a 2-minute timer with 30-second pulses, so that way you know how long to focus on each section of your mouth. It's slim, lightweight, and sleek with no wires, no bulky charger to weigh you down. There's also a multi-use travel cover that doubles as a mirror mount if you want to get stuff off your counter, less clutter. It's great. I really love my Quip toothbrush, and I'm not just saying that. It is super low profile, and it's super compact, and it's super easy to use. And honestly, I don't trust regular toothbrushes anymore. I want to make sure that I'm doing everything the right way. Plus, on top of that, you're going to get some great toothpaste, whether or not you're into mint or watermelon flavors. It's going to make sure you don't get cavities with ingredients for strong, healthy teeth. Also, flossing is very important, and I know people hate to do it because it seems like it's a headache, but flossing is very good for your teeth. Quip makes flossing even easier to do. It comes with a refillable dispenser, so you don't have to worry about extra waste or anything like that, and you're gonna get the right amount of floss every single time. You can also get brush heads, toothpaste, and floss refills delivered from $5, and shipping is free. It's just super smart. So join over 5 million mouths who use Quip and save hundreds compared to other Bluetooth brushes when you get Quip Smart Brush for just $45. Start getting rewards for brushing your teeth today and go to getquip.com/film right now to get your first refill free. That's your first refill free at getquip.com/FILM, spelled GETQUIP.com/film. Quip, better oral health made simple and rewarding. All right, we're back and we're ready to move.
Yeah, let's get a good one. I want a good one.
I want to see a good one too. We got another Lord of the Rings one coming in.
Here we go.
So many details. Here we go. Of course, killing during the filming of Lord of the Rings. No date. What movie is this? It's not even Lord of the Rings. It's actually not. The actor of the actor of Aragorn, which is almost certainly a Google Translate. Viggo Mortensen broke 2 of his toes while kicking an Uruk-hai helmet.
Bad. Moving on.
I have to tell you, this is from Two Towers, and it is probably the most cited piece of BTS trivia of Lord of the Rings, that Viggo Mortensen, when he was infuriated because the Uruk-hai had taken the hobbits, he kicked this helmet and he broke his toe, and his scream was so genuine because he broke his toe and he fell to his knees, and it was a whole thing, and they used it. Everyone cites this.
Yeah.
And when did it was 2 years ago?
Can I say that they didn't even get the detail of the detail, which is that the scream that came afterwards was a combination of his performance and the fact that he had just really hurt his foot breaking his toe.
Yeah.
It's also not, you can see later on in the film, this shot they've wrapped, it looks like a boot, but it's not a boot. This is half of a detail that everybody already knows.
Yeah.
Riddled with typos.
Well, because they took it and it was already translated to their language, and then they translated it back.
Yeah. I'm going to say this detail is ubiquitous. I think that...
I didn't know it, but I do think it's cool that they use the scream. I always like it when there's stuff like that, like Hitchcock scaring the actresses, and that's actually in the movie and stuff. Not saying they should do it.
That's kind of abuse.
I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I'm just saying that that's a cool movie detail. The fact that that scream in the movie is a real scream. Let's say I'm not encouraging it
for sure.
And in some ways, it is also an intended aspect of the filmmaking process to add to the artistry of the film. This doesn't include any of that. It's trash garbage.
I think that's a nice try.
Nope, that's trash garbage. They didn't even get the detail right.
But the first time that you do hear that detail and you go, "Oh, that it's such a guttural scream that he does in the movie."
That's not in that detail. They didn't include that.
Yeah.
They didn't think that was important.
They just said he broke toes.
They just said he broke his toe.
2 toes, 2 towers, 2 toes.
Well kicking.
All right. Well, this is democracy.
They also got the name of the movie wrong.
So
he kicked a well.
They got the wrong film. So what do we think? Elise, you think that's a nice try?
I think it's a nice try because it is a good detail if it's kind of delved into properly. You don't know if this person, if English was their second language.
I'm gonna look and see if this is just a bot that's trying to gain karma so it can.
We don't have time for that. Subreddits. So, Adam, what do you think?
Where does this go? No, they got it wrong. They got the
trash garbage. Trash Ryan?
Garbage.
I'm going to go nice try.
So we're split.
2v2.
2v2. I can't believe we're split on this one. This may be one of the worst ones. It's done wrong. It's even done wrong. Well, I don't really know what to do with that.
Tiebreaker goes to host, I guess.
I mean, it's pretty bad. I might as well just go to bed.
Thank you. Moving it down. All right, let's keep the train rolling. All right.
Oh.
Disney's Aladdin 1992, which is apparently the full title of the film, is the only movie I know of to use the word menagerie twice during its runtime.
This is probably the best one we've had so far.
In defense, I'm seeing that this post has been removed by the moderators of Movie Details, who did not remove while filming the scene or whatever. So, just so you guys know.
This is bad.
Bad.
Is in the Glass Menagerie, which has been turned into a film, they didn't say menagerie more than once? Am I crazy?
Well, that doesn't matter. This is the only one that this person knows of.
Okay, all right. Bad detail.
Okay, and this is from 1 day ago, by the way.
And it's already
got removed.
They knew we were coming.
We need just one other good one.
Well, it's funny. There's a comment here that says, "Why pay attention to such a trivial, meaningless, pointless, useless bit of information?" It's like I could use that description for so much of that subreddit.
Here we go. In Beauty and the Beast, 1991, Belle's reflection can be seen in the glass.
But in the no fucking shit category.
This would be a great comment, a great detail if it was something like, this is the first time that Disney animators have employed this technique in animation in film. Like then
to
you
not
could
go home early.
And then you could say, former Disney animator Tim Burton did not want to put the time into.
He was heavily inspired by The Shooter, which also has reflections.
But yes, this is just like, no shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
Okay.
Well, also, it's pointed out that they just copy pasted it because they're using like early
it's not a mirror image,
so it's wrong.
Moving on.
I like someone in the comments said, "Isn't that what's supposed to happen with glass?" And then somebody said, "It's not real glass."
The best is when the
cartoon glass.
The best is when the poster gets in there and tries to duke it out with the rest of the audience.
No.
Like, no, but you see. And all right, let's keep going. All right, here we go. La La Land.
All right.
Crammed full of details.
Sure.
In La La Land, a single camera recorded the scene with Emma Stone dancing and Ryan Gosling playing piano. So there is a sequence in La La Land which is him playing piano and her dancing, and includes a swish pan between each one.
Yeah, that's
that a detail?
That's how movies.
Or is that what it's? Is it just showing us what it is?
Is this supposed to be for tech heads that are kind of like, oh, you might have thought this was multiple takes or something, but it was really
there was a hidden edit here.
Yeah, it's pretty weak. Detail.
It's weak.
Nice try.
It's weak.
73,000 upvotes, huh?
Here's the thing. It's the difference between a detail and that's cool.
If you never think about movie production and you're not at all connected to it, you'd probably be like, oh, damn. They did that on the fly in one take.
Yeah.
The director's there tapping the cameraman, telling him when to turn. They know exactly the timing. Like, wow. But if you do know cinematography, you're kind of looking at it just going, oh yeah, they moved the camera back and forth.
I would also say this could maybe qualify as a detail if the whole setup for the scene wasn't to make it seem as though it was all happening at one time. If it was supposed to convey something else, right? But it is literally designed to appear as though it is on her, and then it swish pans to Ryan Gosling, and then it swish pans back to her.
73,000 people liked it. Are we the problem here?
They don't know what a detail is. It's not a detail.
It's
just a cool thing. They just saw it and they went, that is cool. And they went,
Are we
yes.
the problem?
But it's not a detail. It's just a cool thing. It's a cool thing that after over 100 years of working within this medium, someone thought, what if I turn the camera faster?
Adam, what are you thinking, man?
I mean, like if you showed that to me and someone said, did you know that was done in one take? I'd go, I could see that being done. Yeah, it would probably take a few tries, but if you have a good cameraman and he had some practice beforehand and they blocked all their stuff and everyone, I mean, the movie won a bunch of Academy Awards. Like,
the director who finessed the rhythm of Whiplash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
This guy he's gonna know tempo, timing,
tempo, timing,
words.
So
Yeah.
So I think this is not a detail.
I think it's a nice try.
I think if it, I would actually be more inclined to believe it were a detail if I watched the scene, thought it was one shot, and it turned out it wasn't. Yeah. What a trick! I got tricked.
Compare that to Snake Eyes, where you think it's one shot. That opening thing. Anyone seen Snake Eyes?
Oh yeah,
but no one thinks about it. Yeah.
Or what is it? Goodfellas. They do that long take, and it is actually cut up, and you can see where they do the cuts. But
that's magic.
Yeah. That's editing and filming, and
that's magic, which I think is part of the filmmaking process. This is a magician saying, "I'm going to take your wallet," and then he turns you around and reaches into your back pocket while you're struggling with it, and then goes, "There, I got it."
Ryan doesn't seem convinced.
It's at the best a nice try, but it's not. Didn't impress me at all.
It might be a nice try, yeah.
I'm going bad.
Because if you're outside filmmaking, maybe you are impressed by it.
Cool is not a detail.
That's
especially when it's something it's showing you. It's cool that
James
someone
already has his cursor on the bad.
Yeah, I would say it's a nice try, but if it needs to be bad, I have no stake in this.
I think it's cool that someone made a window thing that's shaped like a hook. That's cool. It looks cool, and it might look good on a wall or something like that. But its inclusion in the film is not a detail.
Fair enough.
Do what you must. Do what you must.
Throw it in there. Bad.
Okay.
Listen, when you guys
before you were like, "This is democracy."
When you guys host it, you can come up with your own concept, or you can shout about your own things. All right, we're running out of time.
Okay, yeah, we're running long.
All right, number 12. We can always do this again. I love shitting on this stuff. All right, Marvel Universe, love it, packed full of details. The coordinates are the same in Avengers 2012.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., okay, 2013 to 2020, and Captain Marvel 2019, since they share the Quinjet set.
Nice.
I mean, that to me is not...
That seems like an oversight.
It's just a script supervisor doing their job.
Wait,
yeah, but across multiple films and different characters, I think that's pretty...
Like, is it the coordinates where they start at? Like, they start at the Marvel headquarters?
No. So they elaborate that the coordinates are for different locations. They just use the same set, and no one decided to change any of the numbers on the set.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's
this
kind
is
of
the
more
opposite.
Of a goof, I guess. Yeah,
this is a goof. This is the opposite of a detail. If they were the same, if they were like, we're going to HQ, and every single time it was the same across all those different mediums, I would say 100% this is a detail.
Yeah, if they were going to the Stark Tower or
that's a
whatever.
meticulous approach to covering everything.
Oh, wow.
This is just, they use the same set, and no one ever thought to change the numbers on it.
Yeah, but how come the same set, how come the colors are different? Is that just a color grading thing, or?
It
might be a color grading thing.
And they changed the interface, I guess, because the time difference, because Captain Marvel's in the 90s.
Yeah, that panel just popped out.
I don't think because these productions are making a mistake that the detail's bad. Because the detail's just saying like...
I mean, you can imagine the CGI budget, right? Where they go, okay, well, change the middle display because it takes place in a different time, so we'll make it look a little different. They're like, hey, but these numbers are the same. They're like, if anyone notices that, I'll fucking buy you a beer. Jeez, like, what madman would look at those three movies and go, the numbers are the same. I want my money back.
Well, honestly, it is pretty. At first, I was impressed that they had coordinated all this. Now I think that they're just lazy because
lazy.
Yeah, I mean, they could have changed those easily, it seems
which raises the question. This person found a goof in these films. Is this a detail?
Yeah, I think that's a kind of interesting...
Do you think it qualifies as a detail? Thing. It speaks to the filmmaker's incompetence.
Yes, it doesn't necessarily point out a intentional decision by the filmmaker to put some kind of Easter egg or something unique in the film. If
anything, they cared less about this than the poster did.
That is a lack of detail, in fact.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many ways to look at it because then the person that was able to deduce this found a very interesting commonality.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't know which way it depends on how we want to analyze and interpret it.
It always comes down to what is the definition of a detail.
To draw a comparison here, if the Beauty and the Beast one had been the reflection is just a copy paste of her from the other side, would we say that was a detail?
No.
Because it doesn't really speak to anything about the film. It's in direct contrast with the intention of finding details.
Just a detail.
What do we think?
Or it's just a...
It's just it seems like it's pointing out a goof. A lack of continuity.
Yeah.
A lack of attention. I would argue that this is not a detail, not the poster's fault. Very interesting information, but I would argue that it doesn't count as a detail.
All right, good point. You've convinced me. Bad.
It's more of a goof, but it's also if there's a category as who cares. I think I'd put that down.
I mean, I think it's interesting. I actually genuinely think this is an interesting thing, and the poster noticed it, but it only speaks to how undetailed the creators were.
How much corn did Joss Whedon plant for that Quinjet scene?
I'm going to go nice try. I want to go nice try on this one,
That's
guys.
fair.
I think nice try, because I want to give credit to the poster, because this is not on them.
I'm trying to think if there are other goofs maybe details that I like.
Huh. Have you seen
Well, you
Gollum's
think about
cheeks?
that for a second, Elise, and we're going to hear a word from our sponsor. Here's the thing. You probably browse the internet, and you probably think that you're fine because you're clearing your browser history or opening incognito windows, but you can still be watched. You can still be spied upon, and your information can still be sold. There are tons of VPN providers out there. You've probably heard of a couple of them, including hopefully the one that I'm about to mention. Maybe you've even used a VPN before, but for my money, the one that makes it the easiest to use with the best protection is 100% ExpressVPN. It's the best VPN on the market, and here is why. Number one, it doesn't log your data. Lots of really cheap or free VPNs make money by selling your data to ad companies. This is not the case with ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN developed a technology called Trusted Server that makes it impossible for their servers to log any of your info. Second is speed. Some VPNs will slow you down. You sacrifice your internet speed for privacy. That is not the case with ExpressVPN. Your internet speeds will remain blazing fast, even when they connect to servers thousands of miles away. You do not have to worry about it. You're going to get to stream HD quality videos with zero lag. Also, the last thing that really sets ExpressVPN apart from other VPNs is how easy it is to use. Whether it's on your phone or on a browser or even on a smart TV, it's just one button press away from being completely protected, maintaining your privacy. It's so easy your grandparents could use it. And I'm not just saying this. Wired, The Verge, CNET, and many other tech experts rate ExpressVPN the #1 VPN in the world. So protect yourself today with ExpressVPN, the VPN that I use and trust. Use my link expressvpn.com/film today and get an extra 3 months free on a 1-year package. That's expressvpn.com/film. expressvpn.com/film to learn more. All right, at least you've had ample time to think about it. Did you come up with anything?
The Michael Myers mask is a William Shatner mask painted.
There you go.
They thought we wouldn't know. I don't know. No, I couldn't think of anything good.
A great detail would be, if you notice that there's a little thing here at the eye hole of the Michael Myers mask. That's because when he was in a scuffle 3 films earlier, someone cut him with a knife there, and they decided to keep it because they thought it was important. Let's move on. We probably only have time for a few more. We're going to have some left over, so I think we're going to have to do a part 2 of this. Maybe not next week, but sometime soon. All right. In Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2018, Miles breaks the glass in this scene because he was too scared to unstick himself from the wall. This was his leap of faith because he forces himself from the window with his strength in spite of his fear.
I don't know.
What?
It's something that definitely adds to the drama of the scene. I feel like, glass shattering around you as you leap off a building is probably a cooler look visually. It also implies that maybe he wasn't ready to let go and he had to force himself to let go. But do we think that they're reading too much into this?
I just saw it as if Spider-Man, who is like getting used to his powers and was stuck to glass and jumped off with such force, like if you're an art director, you go, it'd be cool as if the glass broke. I don't know if you go that far and go, because he's scared. I don't know if that's, I don't know.
Yeah, this is a personal interpretation that's reading into the intention and pulling some sort of metaphor or analogy out of it, in my opinion. It doesn't necessarily feel like this is a intentional detail, unless the directors have come out and said specifically that this is what they meant. Because I kind of agree with Adam that this just feels like a superhero with new unwieldy powers that's trying to control them.
Which, if you scroll down into the comments, other people have linked to this exact movie detail, which has been posted at least 3 times before. And
yeah,
and they're also doing it. Some people in those comments are saying, I just thought he didn't control his powers very well.
He also, it's the first time he like successfully web shoots, and that's also kind of sloppy. The whole thing was his progression. Someone else pointed out one of the more interesting details is that his frame rate changes throughout the movie.
That is an amazing detail.
That's a great detail.
As he becomes more fully realized. Yeah.
Yeah. They're now, like I said, Ryan, when all other details have been claimed, you got to just start kind of making shit up if you want that sweet, sweet karma. So.
Well, I guess we have to kind of come to a consensus on this one, guys. This is a tough one.
That's a
nice try for me.
That's a nice
try.
Yeah, they're trying.
Okay. I'm glad they looked up from their phone for enough minutes to see the scene from the trailer.
I was going to say, if it makes you feel any better, it was posted 3 times before then, so they probably only thought that because they read someone else's interpretation.
Yeah,
maybe?
It's someone trying to look into some subtext.
Maybe. It's tough, too, when you realize something and you think, I am the only one with this, and you see that there's 16,000 other people who went, yes, I also watched the movie.
Like the name of all of my podcasts. Okay, here we go. This may be our second to last one. We may only have time for
Better be a good one. We don't have many.
In the shower scene of Starship Troopers, 1997, everyone talks about why they joined the service. When it's Busey's turn, he says he wants a career. When he states his reasoning, his head is framed in the shower handle in way that looks like a noose. It is like he is giving himself a death sentence.
See, this is when I think about movie details before this podcast, this is the kind of thing I was thinking that we were going to be, all of them were going to be like, oh, the thematics that the director was going for with this mise-en-scene, it's this, I don't know, it seems like a stretch. What do you guys think?
Well, I would say this, it's tagged as foreshadowing. I would also add that, spoiler, Jake Busey's character does not die in the film.
Yeah, I know.
Also, the screen cap they pulled appears to be from YouTube, which means they typed in Starship Troopers shower scene, things I could masturbate to without my mom finding out.
Yeah, if he was hanged at some
Later
point eventually, then
maybe he got something going. But he actually survives the film.
Well, as we know, Paul Verhoeven, is deeply critical of class structures and whatnot. So I could see him thinking this.
All of that stuff, but all of that stuff is laid pretty thick in this film.
Yeah.
In a lot of other places, do we think amongst all of that, he said, and this character, who, by the way, survives, I am going to... And also, if I recall, this is a moving shot. It's like panning and dollying through the whole shower. It's like a steady cam shot or something.
Yeah.
Well, moving through the shower. So this is one frame pulled from just a blip.
But that's actually even more proof then, because Paul Verhoeven had plenty of time to choreograph this shot. He knew where Jake Busey was going to be whenever he did it. And so he's like, all right, I could move this little shower thing. It's going to be right in the middle of the shot whenever he says his line. Oh, but wait, it'll be a metaphor for his death sentence of a job he's going to get while he says that line. I'm awesome and smart.
he was more obsessed with if there were enough boobs and cock in the shot.
How dare you? Paul Verhoeven is a master, and this film is a master work. I just think there's something else that we're missing. If we saw the whole clip, maybe we'd feel a little bit differently. This is right as Jake Busey's character walks into the scene and turns on the shower by pulling it. Okay. So maybe what Paul Verhoeven wanted to imply was they are in a shower.
To the director's commentary we go. Oh,
this is bad for me.
That's bad.
I think this is exactly what we were talking about, a reach, and it's bad. And
this is the definition of a very nice try to me. This is the upper echelon of the nice tries, in my opinion.
But they're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're nice trying it. They're trying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think everyone's trying.
This is
well, democracy. You're outvoted.
Yeah. This is quite the reach. I will say.
We only have time for one more. We will do this again, though, if you guys enjoyed it and you guys watching at home.
I mean,
I
kind of feel bad shitting on all these people.
Not every time it has been the poster's fault, and Ryan doesn't. We also have one good detail, which is the Scarecrow carrying a gun.
It's not even that good of a detail. We have no great details.
We only have the one.
Remember when you were worried about the fact that we might find a really good one, you'd feel bad about the Scarecrow?
Yeah.
I'm just glad we got the Scarecrow.
Right. Now that not, yeah,
all right.
the second one should be good.
Here we go. This is going to be a good one. This is our last one. In Mr. and Mrs. Smith, 2005, during the fair scene, John, Brad Pitt, closes his left eye to take aim, but before shooting, opens it again to retain peripheral vision. This is what snipers do, foreshadowing his proficiency with weapons.
That's wrong.
But I've done that at a shooting range.
Well, but that's the thing. The common.
And I'm nobody.
But the common idea is that someone who doesn't know how to fire a gun does it in the wrong way, which is by closing one eye and only looking down.
You want to let your eyes like cross and kind of like.
You want to have both eyes open, so he is presenting himself as someone who doesn't. They even provide two images here, presenting himself as someone who doesn't know how to shoot a gun. Silly mistake, closing one eye. But then before he takes a shot, boom, opens the other eye, takes the shot.
I'm going to guess he does this because he does it. That's how Brad Pitt shoots a BB gun.
Well, no. To me, this is a detail that is, it's not necessarily such a duh as like the hook thing, but this is one of those, like, this is what they wanted you to get from that scene. It's not hidden. It's not in the background. This is just like, they want you to think that, oh yeah, he's trying to hide that he's a sniper from her, which is the movie. So I'd say this is bad.
I don't remember it. How obvious is it that he opens his eyes and then?
I don't remember it.
It's obvious because then
he determining factor.
He like bullseyes it and stuff, and is badass. I'm pretty sure I saw it whenever it came out.
Now, what do you think is more of the director's intended scene? The part moments before where Angelina Jolie shoots like bad on purpose to hide the fact that she's a spy, and then Brad Pitt kicks ass shooting because we as the audience know he's a spy. And the twist is supposed to be Angelina Jolie's also spy, except they spoiled it when they released the trailer. Thoughts?
I didn't follow that.
So I did follow it.
Have you seen the movie?
It's Adam's discussing the debate of emphasis. It seems like the director's intention is to show not necessarily that, oops, Brad Pitt is actually a spy, because by this point in the film we know he's a spy. It's not a seeding something. We know that he's already a spy. What we don't know, apparently, I don't remember, is that Angelina Jolie isn't a spy by this point in the film.
Maybe it's tough when the movie is just flat out spoiled for you before you see it.
But more importantly, Angelina Jolie doesn't know that Brad Pitt is a spy, which is the whole.
Let me break this down on another level for you: the gender politics of it, where she's concealing her identity and she's okay with not seeming. Machismo in it. Yeah. But he's still
he can't help.
He can't not look like he's a badass.
Yeah, there's something to that.
But is that his eyes? Is he doing that by opening his eyes?
Do we know? I don't know.
Also, I was gonna say yes, this was a detail, but now I'm realizing without knowing the actual pacing of the scene and how obvious it is that he like opens both his eyes, that I cannot make a clear decision. Because if it is just something that happens, it's like, okay, well, if he was a professional person who actually professionally shoots a gun, he would have both his eyes open. So he's closing it, and then he opens them, and then voila.
If you have a rifle and you shoot something 5 feet in front of you, is that considered sniping?
No, but it's about his proficiency with a weapon.
Okay.
I'm watching the scene right now.
Okay.
And yeah, it's pretty obvious. Like they kind of hold on it for a beat, and then he hits like all the bullseyes, and then after she had just flubbed them all. So he's trying to impress her.
Yeah, I thought that was more of the takeaway of that, rather than he does what some snipers might do, because you have one of two options: either close one eye or keep both eyes open,
or close both eyes. But that's only elites.
An inexperienced person with a gun would probably close one eye, because for whatever reason, that's what we're conditioned to think is the way to aim accurately when it's not, right? So he's mimicking that of an inexperienced person until it's time to actually do what he needs to do, and then he is doing what he needs to do, and the movie is showing us that. I think that him hitting all the targets is also a pretty good thing. I don't know. I don't know that I can, in good conscience, give this a good detail.
If he handed her a pair of binoculars and said, "Be my spotter," would that be better or worse?
Once again, it just
snipers do.
Part of the scene, though.
You're getting hung up on the snipers thing. Let's just think of this as just proficiency with weapons, right? He's someone who snipes sometimes. If you're going to fire a gun, you should probably do it with both eyes open. That's just the thing.
I'm going to tweet Brad Pitt and ask him.
Okay. All right, great. I thought you'd say Brad Bird.
Anyone must know.
It sounds like Ryan's adamantly against this. He's also watching it right now. Which is something that I think goes a long way. Elise, your thoughts?
Honestly, just don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll do that to you. This subreddit will do that to you. Well, I can tell you that 60,000 people were confident that this was amazing.
Cool.
And so they believe that that's the case.
Okay.
I think we're gonna put this in the no category.
Okay. I might want to give it a nice try, but that just might be the mob getting to me.
Give it up for the Scarecrow.
How about the Scarecrow? So we didn't get through all of them. We still had a couple of them left. Maybe we'll do this again sometime, unless everyone hated this. But let me know what you guys don't let me specifically know, but let us know down in the comments if you think we were a little too harsh on these details, if any of these details were yours, and hopefully we will do this again sometime, because I love debating the merits of something that someone is just passionate about.
Trivial.
It's so trivial.
Knocking down.
But I think it's a lot of fun. Ryan, did you enjoy this? I know this is new to you, this whole ecosystem.
This is very new to me. I had a good time. I'm actually looking kind of focusing on the background of your screen right now. There's like a yellow triangle with four triangles in it. It almost represents, I want to say, the four of us that are here, with you in the middle as the black one.
What if I told you Elise likes Zelda, and so we have a lamp that represents one of the things from Zelda?
Death of the author. What you say doesn't matter. What's in the text is there's four triangles that represent the four people here. That's a cool detail. All right. Interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a detail.
Well,
put it in the good category right now.
AD detail. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Funhaus. Hopefully you like this again, and I always enjoy doing it. Thank you guys for joining me. Elise, Adam, Ryan.
Thanks
always
for inviting
pleasure.
Me, James.
Thank you.
Of course. Yes. And thank you to the Scarecrow for carrying that gun. Otherwise, we'd have nothing to discuss today.
And if you're out there thinking about posting the movie subreddit details, do better, please. We want,
they won't.
Please, though.
No.
They won't.
15 years in the game, producer MC. Still delete your best 16 like when man produce an MC. Came for the times it was rare to produce